Not the kind you hear on the stairs, not the creak of the house, something slow, something alive, and it happens every night. Tonight you'll hear the full story, who she was, what she found, the clues nobody expected, and the moment everything changed. Stay with me till the end. You'll feel the skin on the back of your neck raise, and you'll understand why she could never just close that closet door again. Like and follow us for more interesting horror stories. She's Anna, 27, works nights as an ER tech, moved into a cheap 2-bedroom apartment after a breakup. Quiet street. 2nd floor walk-up. The closet in her bedroom, small, narrow, the kind with that cheap sliding door that never quite tracks right. She lived alone. Friends joked she was dramatic. Her landlord was a wiry man who never fixed anything he could paint over. The breathing starts about a week after she moves in. At first she thinks it's the building settling, a pipe, an upstairs neighbor. But it's always the same. 10 minutes after she turns off the lights, a slow, patient breath, inhale, exhale, like someone counting her sleep. It's close enough to the door that she can feel warm air on her hand if she presses her palm against the wood. Night 1, she freezes, listening. The breathing stops when she sits up. She convinces herself it's anxiety. Night 2, she hears small, scuffed footsteps across the floor as if someone walked inside the closet, then sat down. She opens the door, nothing, clothes untouched. The hangers sway like someone had just stood up. She shrugs it off as a draft. By the 4th night, she's exhausted. The breaths become a pattern. 3 slow inhales, a pause, a single tremulous exhale. She tapes her phone to the closet door and records overnight. The recording, when she plays it in daylight, shows nothing but the usual city hum. No distinct footsteps, no voices, just the tape's white noise. But when she fast-forwards, there's a low rhythm and the waveform spikes, breathing, undeniably human, recorded as a scrape of static. She posts anonymously to a forum. "There's breathing in my closet. Help!" Answers come. Raccoons in the attic, rats, landlord, paranoia. Someone suggests motion-activated lights. She buys one, mounts it inside the closet. The next morning the battery is drained. The light shows no motion history. The battery casing is cut, small, precise cuts. Whoever did it knew exactly where to cut. She starts to look for physical evidence. Under the rug near the closet, she finds a single scuff, shoe mark. It's smudged, but there are traces of dirt that don't match her sneakers. She checks the vents. Hair lodged in the grate like lint, but thicker, longer, coarse strands she doesn't recognize. She begins to suspect an intruder. She buys a cheap camera and installs it on a bookshelf facing the closet. She sets it to motion detection, uploads the footage to the cloud, and sleeps with the volume of her phone turned up. 3 nights of footage show nothing unusual. The camera captures shadows shifting, the city glow through the curtains, and one night at 2:12 a.m., a shape at the closet door, a darker shadow, that dissolves when the frame blurs. The video freezes for 18 seconds and resumes with the closet door slightly ajar. She brings the footage to her friend Marcus, who used to do surveillance for a courier company. He slows the playback frame by frame. On frame 4, the shadow is there, not entirely human, the shoulders too narrow, the posture wrong. Frame 5 shows 2 pale eyes reflecting the camera's infrared dot. Frame 6, blank. The rest of the night is ordinary. Marcus says, if someone's living in your house, they'd have to move through the walls. That's not how burglars work. Who? Anna, the victim. The building, 2nd floor walk-up with thin walls. An unknown presence, the suspect. Neighbors. A retired woman who waters plants in the hall and a late-night chef who comes home at 3 a.m. No one reports anyone moving in. What? Persistent breathing inside a locked closet. Evidence. Cut casing of a motion light, hair in vents, a scuff mark, video frames with a shadow and reflective eyes. Why? Motive is unclear. Obsession. Survival. Territorial. The more Anna pries, the more impossible the motives feel, like something not guided by human reason. How? That's the problem. The recordings don't show an entrance. The landlord claims there are no service crawl spaces. Every lock on every exterior door is intact. And yet, the breathing, the scuffs, the missing batteries. There's one more clue she finds by accident. A yellowing thread, snagged on the inside seam of her favorite sweater, the same sweater she'd been wearing the night she first heard the breathing. She never took it off. The thread does not match any fabric in her closet. It looks like something animal or woven unevenly by hand. She keeps it in a small jar on her desk like a talisman she doesn't understand. Anna tries to reclaim her nights. She sleeps with headphones and rain noise. She takes melatonin. She moves the mattress away from the closet and sleeps on the couch. The breathing follows, the rhythm shifts like an echo. Every time she attempts to outsmart it, the presence adapts. It learns the shape of her nights. One morning, she wakes to find her bathroom mirror fogged, but she hasn't showered. Single wet prints trail from the bedroom to the hall, tiny toe marks on the laminate like someone had been stepping on tiptoe. When she opens the closet to change, a coat she'd hung there months ago is on the floor, folded perfectly, as if someone had been careful enough to respect her things. She reports it to the landlord. He shrugs, says old buildings have quirks. He offers to replace the sliding track. The next night, as she lies awake, the breathing is suddenly louder, closer, and a scrape from the inside of the closet runs like nails across wood. The door slides open a fraction, and the darkness seems deeper than the rest of the room, a pocket of absolute absence where the light can't reach. Anna decides to confront it. She arms herself with a flashlight, a kitchen knife, and Marcus on speaker. She opens the closet and says, "If you're here, come out, I know you're here." For 20 seconds, nothing. Then, from deep inside the closet, the breath comes softer now, like lips against a mouth. Marcus whispers, "Whatever it is, it's mimicking you." She reaches in and feels fingers, fur. Something warm brush her palm. She withdraws, shaking. On the floor by her shoe rack is a small stack of photographs, Polaroids she's seen before, family gatherings, her birthday, the coffee shop she used to go to. Every single one has been taken from inside her bedroom, through the slit where the closet door meets the wall. Someone had been watching for weeks. In the Polaroids, on the edge of frame, there's a face, not entirely visible. Only an outline against the wardrobe light. On the 6th Polaroid, the face is closer. A pale cheek, dark hair plastered to skin, and eyes like 2 ink blots. She recognizes the sweater in the photo, the same yellowing thread. It's her sweater on a body that should not be there. She lurches and the closet door slams, hard enough to shake the windows. The breathing becomes a thunder in the room, multiplied. The hair in the vents rises as if in a gust. Marcus shouts, get out now!" But the doorknob will not turn. The handle spins and nothing opens. The lights go out. In the black, she hears her name spoken in a voice that is almost her own. "Anna!" The sound is wrong, as if someone is learning where her consonants live. She feels a weight settle on the other side of the door, something pressing against the closet wood like a palm. When the building maintenance finally forces the door open the next morning, the landlord, 2 neighbors, Marcus. The closet is empty. No person. No bedding. No footprints that match human weight. Just the Polaroids stacked neatly like an offering, and the seam of the wall pushed outward like someone had leaned on it from the inside. The police come. They log it as trespassing, no suspect. They dust for prints and find an impossible smear, not a human print, but a textured pattern like cloth pressed into skin. DNA returns nothing meaningful. The landlord offers to fix her up with a new tenant or give her 1 month free. She refuses. The closure should end it, but it doesn't. She moves out of the apartment 2 days later, files an incident report, and the case goes cold. Weeks later, when she goes to retrieve a box she left behind, the new tenant answers the door with a forced smile. "We don't have any issues," he says. "Everything's fine here." When she steps into the room, the new closet is untouched, nothing in it. And yet that night, from across the street, she hears the breathing through her phone as the new tenant live streams a house tour. A low, patient inhale coming from the closet they had just closed. It's distant, but it's there. She shows the clip to Marcus. He rewinds. The waveform spikes. On frame 347, for a breathless second, you can see something move behind the closet door like a ripple in dark water. Who, a presence that follows places, that hides where people think they are safe. What? A watcher, a mimic, or a person with nowhere to belong? Why? We never find an answer that makes sense, no motive, no reason. How? It doesn't come through entry points we understand. It comes from the small seams, the space between words and doors, between the inside of life and the thin wood we call privacy. She swore she'd never sleep with the closet door open again. But on the third night after she moved, she woke to the sound of breathing at her bedroom window. Not behind her anymore, beside her. Close. And when she turned on the light, there was nothing. Only a Polaroid on the pillow facing down. She flipped it, her own sleeping face, taken from right beside her bed. We don't get tidy endings in real life. The police filed the incident as Code 459, suspicious circumstances. The landlord denied liability. The new tenant later moved out and refused to speak to anyone. Anna sold the jar with the yellow thread at a yard sale. She sleeps with the radio on now, the hum a small guard against something that breathes. If you've ever heard a sound in the night and convinced yourself it was nothing, remember Anna's story. Not everything that breathes beside your closet is simply alive, and not everything alive wants to be found. If you liked this story, hit subscribe and tell me in the comments. What would you do if you heard breathing in your closet? Would you open the door? Or would